it's time to take out your pen and your paper because we are going to give you what you want. You're going to want to take some notes from our next guest, and they are committed to helping you and us reclaim our power in the workplace and in your home life with a few simple changes and a whole new perspective.
That's right. In their newest collaboration, The Power Code, New York Times bestselling authors Katty and Claire Shipman uncover ways to mold and redefine the meaning of power for maximum impact in our everyday lives. Ooh, that's intriguing. But how exactly do we go about it? That is the question. So, to help us with all of that, Katty and Claire are joining us this morning live in the studio. Ladies, thank you for writing this book.
Yes.
And thank you for being here to talk to us about it.
Thank you. We're excited. Thank you.
Very important stuff. A very interesting topic as well. Right off the bat, we were reading up on it a little before we started the show, and it's stuff that when you read it and you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense, but you don't think about it. How men and women kind of navigate the whole concept of power very, very differently. So I wonder if you might both be able to share your personal experiences and struggles with power and the concept of it through both your careers and your personal lives, because I know you've done plenty of research on all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, how long do we have? So,
and where are the drinks?
I think I've come to a position where I'm comfortable with having power. Maybe the research that I've done has helped me realize all the great things that power can let you do with your life, how it can let you change the world that you're in. But oh my God, there have been so many meetings that I've sat in where some man has spoken over me or taken my idea away from me or spoken over another woman. And now we've learned this really great tip for when that happens to you. I'm sure this never happens to you. But anyway, were it ever happened to you, ladies, just in case, there's a very simple 3 words. Let me finish.
Ooh, buddy.
Or
easy.
Let her finish. And it's amazing how effective that is, and it's a way of reclaiming power in the room in real time.
I think noticing, too, I mean, I feel the same as Katty. I spent so many years just trying to be nice all the time, and I really don't like confrontation. But on a recent meeting, one powerful man who was on this Zoom call started talking about his female partner as crazy. And I just stopped the meeting and said, we don't use that language anymore. And later somebody said the way I talked through the whole meeting, they're like, wow, you're a power mom. And I'm like, okay, if that's my style.
Thank you.
Great. That's awesome.
I'll definitely take that. And so when we're talking about the Power Code, just wanting to know, what exactly is that? What is the Power Code, and how can, not just women, but also men go about creating that for themselves?
We wrote this book because we want more women in positions of power, and we're not there yet. Only 10% of female CEOs are women. Only 27 countries around the world out of 200 have female leaders. It's not good enough. We need to get through the top. And a lot of that is changing power. We don't need to remake women. Women are actually doing all the right things we need to do to lead. We're better educated. The way we lead is good. The way we manage ourselves at work is great. But we need to remake power. We need to redefine power to value the things that we are already doing. So all of the things you're doing, all of your instincts are right. We just need to get those things recognized.
And I think very specifically what we found is that the power that exists today and that is defined largely by men as a power over is very hierarchical. And it's almost about power for power's sake, and it's where do I fit in the hierarchy. If you can redefine it as power to, that works for women. Women like the why. Why am I doing this? What is the point? And even as an individual, if we can start thinking about that, it makes power seem more appealing.
Very true.
So many questions. So much to say. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I love
so
all
much
of this.
Here.
Go ahead.
I guess I'm wanting to understand, from your research, how are women and men defining power differently?
Yeah, so the book is all based on research. It's full of great tips. I mean, there's great ways that you can use this research, but we do base it all very heavily on neuroscientists and psychologists. And we found that men have a much more zero-sum view of power. So more for you is less for me. Women don't feel that. Our research shows that women celebrate other people's power. They celebrate other people's success. So we're much more generous about it. And we do, as Claire says, focus really on the purpose of power, like power to do something. We interviewed a wonderful Senegalese lawmaker out in Dakar who told us, and I asked her, what does power mean for you? And she said, power for me means getting electricity into a clinic so a midwife can help give birth by a little bit of light. It's a tool.
Yeah.
Power is a tool to get things done. And I think if we think of it like that, it's actually a lot more appealing to women. It's also a lot more impactful because it's without all the ego and the mansplaining and the competition. It's about results.
Yeah, I love it. And it's interesting that you mentioned the woman who you interviewed, because I know between we've mentioned it's not the first book you've collaborated on. You've had the last one was in 2014 was the Confidence Code, and you did the Confidence Code for Girls, which is again bravo to you for putting that out there. It was something that I'm sure we all wish we'd grown up with. But the amount of research that you must have done and conducted between then and now, today in 2023, I would just like to take a peek behind that collaborative curtain and see what that process looked like for you guys and who you spoke to and how you kind of went about everything that led you to this book that we have on the table in front of us.
About the neuroscientists.
Well, yeah, I was going to say,
great.
I mean, we spent, I think one thing we found over the years looking at women in work and then women in confidence and now women in power is a heavy focus on the science and the psychology and what confidence does to our brains and then what power does to our brains. And I think the thread for us in continuing to try to figure out why we don't have more women leaders is, you know, how can we make use of this brain science? And we spend a lot of time behind the scenes on that. And in this recent book, and very similar to confidence, we found that there's, for example, really basic science, something we can all do to get our brains feeling more powerful, which makes us more likely to act and to do things. And that is spend 15 minutes before a big job interview, a big meeting, writing down your memory of a time you felt powerful or you had influence. That changes your mindset. And the studies have shown that people who do that in real job interviews got the jobs much more frequently. So there are these little tweaks, like, we're all about the practical, right? We want women to read this book and men and say, this is what I can do to change things. You know, sort of not have this global picture that feels impossible. And the science is really exciting for us on all of this.
Oh my gosh, we could go on. I love, by the way, that you have more joy, less ego, because the ego needs to leave the room. And it's very good advice, which I'm sure this is full of good advice, but think it's easy to let the worst creep in for a situation that uses the example, the job interview. So it's very empowering, I can imagine, to go back to a time where you felt confident or you felt at your best and go into something challenging perhaps with that fresh at the front of your brain.
That's why we have joy on the cover too, because most people think power and joy, that doesn't go together. But there's real joy and incredible satisfaction in getting things done and in changing our worlds.
Beautiful. Ladies, thank you for writing this book. The fifth that you've collaborated on. I will have to go get the other four. And thank you for being with us, okay? And run, don't walk, those of you watching at home, to grab your copy of The Power Code wherever you like to get your books.